There's a bunch of different shapes, sizes, and brands out there. Convenient way for me to deal with my period. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Serein, and today's video is all about my period must-haves. The reason I wanted to make this video is I'm going to tell you at the end, and I'll also have timestamps in the description box, my experience when I first got my period and how I was kind of lost and confused and really didn't have any guidance. I'm hoping that if someone stumbles across this video that needs help and recommendations or is curious about their period, that I can offer another voice out there that could potentially be helpful. I am now in my 30s and I've had my period since I was 13. It's so important to have a space to feel comfortable to talk about these things if you have questions and to make it more okay to talk about. Look at me being all organized. I have a note section and everything with breakdowns of how I want to cover everything. After using pads, after using tampons, I finally have converted to a menstrual cup. There are tons of different menstrual cups. The ones that I use are the Diva cup just because it was the first one I purchased and have continued to use. This is not the one I'm currently using. I'm actually on my period right now, which is why I wanted to make this video. Menstrual cup is a silicone cup that is shaped like a cup. There's a bunch of different shapes, sizes, and brands out there. So you really have to find the one that works for you. Not all cups are created equal. Not all of our bodies are created equal. So certain cups are gonna fit better with certain bodies. Unfortunately, there's not really a one way to figure that out other than trial and error. This is the size 1. I actually have the size 2 inside of me right now. I found that the size 1, while was easy for me to learn with and get used to, I found that it would leak every so often. A whole video about my experience using the Diva cup within the first year of me using it. It's been, I think, around 3 years now since I converted to the Diva cup, and I'm so glad that I tried it and stuck with it because it is the most convenient way for me to deal with my period. There are plenty of videos on YouTube on how to use the Diva cup. There's also a lot of different reviews on different versions of a menstrual cup. I love the Diva cup because 1, it's eco-friendly. You buy one of these and they last, on the package say a year, but honestly they last longer than that. It's made out of medical grade silicone. So until the silicone starts to break down, which it hasn't yet in my 3 years of owning this, it isn't going to need to be replaced. I wash it after every time I take it out of me. I also then deep cleanse it once a month at the end of my cycle. I also wash it again before my cycle when I need it. Pads with tampons, it's a lot of waste and packaging. This is like kind of a one-time purchase that will last you for many years. The cost effectiveness is tremendous. So a box of tampons, if you're really lucky, is gonna cost you around $5, $6. I've yet to find tampons that I enjoy using that work, that are absorbent enough, and that don't hurt for $6. They're typically a little bit more than that. Sometimes you can find coupons and buy them in bulk, but you're gonna be spending at minimum about $5, $6 at least once a month. The Diva cup, you can find ones for a little bit more affordable and you can find them online for less, is anywhere between $30 to $40. Just under $40 for multiple years, or $60 a year on tampons, assuming that you're able to find them for $5 a pop and not including sales tax or the luxury tax that they like to add to tampons. Same goes with pads. I find that I go through a lot of pads if I'm using pads just because I don't feel clean down there. It's safer for our bodies. Unfortunately, the tampon and pad industry isn't very regulated. There are a lot of great organic options these days, but for the most part, it's not very sanitary. It's not regulated. There's no actual like control over what is being put into our bodies. No risk of toxic shock syndrome with a menstrual cup. There are no risks of any of those nasties like bleach or asbestos or any other carcinogens or random crap that's in those products going up in there or even sitting really close up in there. Because even though pads aren't going into our bodies, it is sitting right there and it's not very breathable most of the times. I only have to empty out my menstrual cup twice a day. I put it in there, I can forget about it and go about my life. I don't have any issues swimming, traveling, exercising, sleeping. I don't have to worry about it whatsoever. I also have the Diva Wash, which is what I personally prefer to use to wash out my menstrual cup. I have had less leakage with using a menstrual cup than any other option out there. So occasionally it will leak, but that's usually when I'm having my learning curve with a new cup. When I'm really, really heavy, sometimes I have to empty it out, and that's when I have to wear a panty liner just in case, if I want to be extra careful. But that's only on like my first and second day of my period. After that, I don't even wear panty liners. I don't have to worry about it. Those are all of the benefits of converting to a menstrual cup. Now, there are some negatives, and the negatives is there is a learning curve. But I also feel like there is a learning curve with any products you use to control your period flow. Menstrual cup could be very intimidating, especially if you're younger, because of the idea of having to insert this into your body. You do have to kind of get up in there, which could creep people out, but I don't think we should be shy with ourselves. I was very uncomfortable about it until later on in life. I mean, I was uncomfortable putting a tampon in there, but I mean, boys and men are all up in their genitals, so we should explore and figure out our genitals as well, and we shouldn't be afraid of it. If you're squeamish, I could see it being an issue, but I also like seeing how much my flow is. Like, I know exactly how much period blood and gunk comes out every month. Like getting to know my body situation, there's a plus and a minus. The minus is you have to get over it. The plus is that you're learning more about your flow. You're learning more about what's coming out of your body, and you see exactly what it is. Another negative is that it could be a little messy, because when you pull this out, it's going to be filled with your period flow. It can get messy. It can get on your hands, and you have to dump it out in the toilet. But I just flush, and then I wipe, and I go over to my sink and I wash everything off really well with hot water, warm water, and then I'll use cool water first to rinse everything out, and then I'll turn on the hot tap, and as it warms up, I'm washing it and rinsing it out really well, and then I wash my hands really well, and then I put it back in there, and then I wash my hands again. So it's not that gross. It's like when I slice my hand open. It's blood, it's stuff, it's natural, it's, you know, be responsible about it. Wash your hands, rinse out the sink, use some soap. I mean, it's totally fine. It could gross some of you guys out, but it's coming out of our bodies, and we have to be comfortable with that. I mentioned I use a panty liner the first 2 days of my period. I also do use the panty liners at the end of my cycle when I take my menstrual cup out, and I don't really feel like I need a cup in there, but I might still have a little bit of spotting. So I finally discovered some cleaner, organic panty liners that I like. This is the Cora Ultra Thin Regular Without Wings. I ordered this through Grove Collaborative, and Grove Collaborative is a monthly subscription service where I restock my cleaning supplies. Everything is pretty clean, non-toxic products. I tried a lot of toxic-free panty liners and pads. The issue with them is that sometimes they smell funny, like they make me smell worse down there than I actually smell. This one I find keeps me fresh. It doesn't have a fragrance, so it's not toxic, but it also keeps me fresh, and it pulls moisture away in a nice way. They're pretty comfortable. These liners are free of chlorine, fragrances, artificial dyes, deodorants, toxic adhesives, acetone, rayon, polyester, chloroform, chlorine, dioxide processing, phthalates, and other scary ingredients. They're made with renewable energy in the US as well, and they've just been a really great discovery of mine. Also great for traveling long haul flights, because I personally feel kind of gross, so I'll line my underwear on a flight, and then I'll just switch up the liners throughout a long flight. I've been pretty vocal about how horrible my menstrual cramps used to be, and how I was taking anywhere between 8 or more ibuprofens a day to manage my period cramps and my lower back pain that were caused by my period. I also get crazy hormonal mood swings, so that it was honestly putting a strain on our marriage once a month. I started microdosing with Mondo, which is a CBD. It's about a 5 to 10 milligram CBD dosage in my coffee every single day. That mainly started to help manage my anxiety and stress levels. I do deal with depression and anxiety. By microdosing, it's in my system, and for the most part, it's really helped me manage my stress levels. But then I started using the Menstrual Relief, and I have tried other menstrual THC and CBD product combinations, but we found that Menstrual Relief was the most effective thing to help with my period symptoms. The reason for that is it's the entourage effect. CBD is great for inflammation, it's great for antioxidants, it's also just really great for pain relief, managing anxiety, stress, depression. CBD is just an incredible ingredient and product. It's completely changed our lives for the better for different reasons. We find a new reason for using CBD all the time. The Menstrual Relief blend uses the entourage effect, which means because there's cannabinoid receptors in our body naturally, the CBD opens our body up to being more receptive to the other herbal supplements in the product. By having the CBD, which is a 50 milligram dose per capsule, it opens up our receptors to be more receptive to the B vitamins and the magnesium in each capsule, which is exactly what we need as women during that time of the month. You talk to your doctors and you tell them about your period symptoms, they tell you to take magnesium and B vitamins. Well, so the B vitamins and magnesium are in each capsule, plus the 50 milligrams of CBD, which creates that entourage effect of making everything work better together, making your body receive everything more. 50 milligrams of CBD not only helps with managing pain, inflammation, but it allows your body to be more receptive to the B vitamins and magnesium that you already kind of need, but it's also all in one capsule. The way it's blended is genius. It's really well thought out. It's really high quality CBD isolate. Menstrual Relief is just that. It's just pure relief. It has helped me so much with my cramps. It's helped me with my bloating. It's helped me with my mood swings. I obviously microdose, so CBD is in my system on a daily basis. But having this bonus on my first day of my period has relieved my symptoms by 90%, probably more. I still feel achy sometimes, but I just pop a Menstrual Relief. So what I do is I typically take this at the first signs of any symptom, and then I'll take it through my first day of my period, and usually I'm good. There's 30 capsules in a bottle. It's $119. It's gonna last me a few cycles, quite a few cycles. So I'm not that concerned about the price because even Chris, and we buy everything ourselves. So even though we carry this in our shop, we have to pay for it. I was telling Chris like, hey, do you mind if I open up a bottle? And he's like, no, are you kidding me? Never. And even if we didn't sell it, I would make sure we would have it in the house for you. It has improved my relationship with him. It has improved my relationship with the world. And it's just improved my life so much because I can work out. I can work, I can do everything. And unless you're a woman who deals with really severe menstrual cramps and just symptoms from your period, you won't understand it. Talking to a woman, how she got it, she totally understood. Like, we're sitting there at work, and even though we're not like being physically active, it hurts and you're in such discomfort that you're just barely trying to breathe through it, and you can barely focus on the email you're trying to write. And I completely stopped taking ibuprofen during that time of the month. I honestly completely stopped taking painkillers, over-the-counter painkillers, just because I don't need it anymore. Working with pain relief and just relief in general, I also really love my pain salve. This is, again, something we carry in the shop. To be honest, everything we carry in the shop, I use literally almost every day in my daily life. That's why we carry it. This is our 500 milligram pain salve. There's 500 milligrams of CBD in here. It's full spectrum CBD. There's also turmeric. There's also menthol and cacao butter. Just a really great immediate relief pain product. And for taking my menstrual relief, sometimes it takes 30 to 40 minutes to become into effect because it is a capsule that has to dissolve in my system. So I will take this and rub it on my lower belly or my lower back for immediate pain relief. And my friend Carla, I sent her the 300 milligram roller from our shop, and she put it on because she had pulled a muscle, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is immediate pain relief. I cannot believe it. It is that good. And Chris and I literally use this a couple times a week, either when we pull a muscle, we're sore from a workout. I use it on bug bites and hives. I get hives really easily when I'm stressed. I also just get hives in general, no real explanation whatsoever. I've always gotten it since I was a kid, and I get really bad bug bites. This soothes my bug bites, it soothes my rashes, and it takes down the inflammation and the swelling. It just provides immediate relief. We put this on my friend Jenny's bee sting that was like swollen for over a week. Within an hour, the swelling went down. Tried this on like everybody we can try it on. It has been really effective and it works really, really well. So around that time of the month, if you have a lower back pain and you feel like, okay, I need to just get this to go away so I can focus, I really recommend the pain salves. It's not just for periods, but I found it really effective for periods and period cramps and back aches or just achiness. It's something that I feel like every family should have in their arsenal of like first aid. This and the Healing CBD Honey Balm, which we will be carrying soon in the shop. This is another must-have during my period. Final thing I want to share with you guys for a must-have during that time of the month are readily available healthy snack options. I know I get crazy cravings around that time of the month, and sometimes I give in to them, and most of the time I have things around the house that can satisfy those cravings without ruining my ketogenic diet. I love chips. I love savory things, French fries, potatoes, mashed potatoes. When I discovered that I could eat siete tortilla chips, I was so happy because these are delicious. They're fluffy, they're crunchy, they satisfy my chip craving. They're actually chips that I would buy even if I wasn't on keto and I could have regular chips. Completely grain-free. They're made with avocado oil. This one is the lime one because that's the one that's currently open. And what I like to do is mix cream cheese and salsa and then dip this in there, and gives it that crunch. So I try to limit myself to one serving, which is about 9 to 10 chips a night. I don't want to eat the entire bag, even though I've been known to do so on a really bad day. But these are so much healthier for me because it is more in line with my current diet plan. I'm not saying I wouldn't go and treat myself and have like my favorite Ruffles sour cream and cheddar chips, but if this is around, I don't feel that urge as much. Favorite flavors are the lime, and I also really enjoy the regular plain one with just sea salt. I found Chalk Zero, which is 0 sugar, no soy, and no sugar alcohols. This is great for someone on a keto diet. They're a little bit more expensive and sometimes they sell out, but it is so freaking delicious. You can't believe there's no sugar in half of my desserts, in all of my desserts really. This tastes so good, and it doesn't ruin my diet either. And this is the dark chocolate sea salt with almonds, which Chris actually likes. I like the hazelnut milk chocolate. Those are my favorites because I love milk chocolate, and Chalk Zero makes the best keto-friendly milk chocolate, and hazelnuts with that crunch. It's so yummy. I don't even crave other chocolate. Another one is to make yourself dessert. Chris made me avocado brownies. So basically he takes cocoa powder, 2 avocados, an egg, blends it all together with some of our Swerve sugar replacement, and then bakes it for me. They're super gooey and chewy, and they taste just like brownies, but they're full of healthy fats that I need in my diet, and I don't have to feel guilty about it. Make sure you're prepared that that time of the month is coming. Have these snacks ready to go so that you don't do something silly and eat too many bad snacks when you have like healthier junk food options. That's my 5 must-haves for my personal period time of the month. And I wanted to share with you guys, when I first got my period, it was so traumatic. Basically, I was 13 years old and I was at the bookstore with my friend at the time, and I started to feel really sick. Like I felt like I was gonna poo my pants. Let's just be honest. I thought I was having like food poisoning or something. So I go into the bookstore bathroom. Thank God it was a single stall, so it's one of those where you just lock the door. So I go to the bathroom and I take my pants down to go to the bathroom, and it's a disaster. There's literally blood everywhere. On top of that, I had to poo. When you are on your period, I don't know if you guys have this issue, but I have bowel movement problems. It's like gross and it's nasty. Having that, I was having major cramps. I didn't know what was happening. I was sweating and I was panicked, and I was like, oh my God, what is all this blood? I'm dying. I literally am dying. And I had gone through the whole mother-daughter tea, saw the little horrible video that they made about periods and how you're now a woman. I was not prepared for how it felt, and what was happening to me in this bathroom. So I finally like somehow cleaned myself up. I flushed the toilet 1,000 times. I used all the toilet paper. I shoved the toilet paper, like a wad of toilet paper, into my pants. I put my shorts back on and I run outside, and I think I told my friend, but I was kind of embarrassed because I didn't know if she had gotten her period yet. And I was 13, so at the time, it wasn't that like a lot of girls had had their periods just yet. I went home and I told my mom, hey, I got my period. And she didn't believe me. As much as I love my mom, she couldn't wrap her mind around things that she hadn't experienced sometimes. So she didn't believe that I got my period. She thought I was lying, and I was like, no, legitimately, I think I got my period. I need something. And so she, I think, had already gone through menopause at this time because she had me when she was much older. All she had was like an old box of panty liners, and she handed that to me and kind of left me alone. So I put the panty liners in my underwear, and literally, I kid you not, within like 5 seconds, I bled through that, my underwear, and my pants. I was like, Mom, this isn't working. So luckily, at the stupid mother-daughter tea I went to like 2 years ago at this point, they gave us like a pad with some other random crap in this little bag. So I took the one free pad I had and I put that in my underwear. I made my mom take me to the store. She was at a loss as to what to buy me because she didn't know what I would want or use. I wanted tampons because I didn't want to deal with pads. So she bought me a box of tampons and a pack of pads. But you're like, do I want the ones with wings? Do I want, like, what are my options? There's too many options. I don't know which ones work. Anyways, so I tried to use tampons that day. I went through an entire box and could not get a single tampon all the way up in there. I bought the ones with the plastic applicator that was supposed to be easy to use. I sat there reading the stupid manual. It did not work. And when I was 13, I did not have YouTube. I don't even think I had the internet. I think we had the internet, but it was like dial-up, and I only used it for AIM. It sucked, to say the least. My mom was of no help. She, I think, was embarrassed because she didn't know how to help me, or maybe she still didn't believe that I was on my period. I don't know what the deal was with her, but we never really talked about it. None of my friends that were close to me had gotten their period, so I didn't know how to talk about it with them, and it was kind of embarrassing at the time. When I went to dance class, I wanted to wear my ballet skirt over my tights, and my teacher was like, no skirts at the bar. And I had to be like, I'm on my period, I don't know how to use tampons. And she was like, oh, okay. So she let me wear my skirt. It just sucked. And, you know, my mom was very supportive, but it wasn't like she had any ability to guide me. And it's not necessarily her fault because I don't think anybody guided her. And it wasn't until I told you I was 15. I tried putting tampons in like multiple times. It wasn't until I was 15 that I think maybe I was even 16, because my cousin and I were in the car together, and she was driving me to my sister's wedding anniversary, rehearsal dinner for her wedding, and she told me how to use tampons because I was like, I can't figure out how to use a tampon. And my cousin's always been very like matter of fact and to the point and not making me feel weird about it, and very like descriptive but in a medical kind of way. So she told me a couple options of how to use a tampon and try it. And I went home the next time and tried it, and it worked. I wish I had my cousin's number at the time and would know better than to not call her, but I didn't know. Like, I wasn't very close with her. My sister was of not very much help because she, I think, you know, having my mom not guide us, like I don't know that she knew how to guide me either, and we just didn't really talk like that. I felt like I should share that with you guys in case you have similar experiences. Unfortunately, it could be your experience, and hopefully this is a platform that we can discuss it openly, and maybe I can help advise you in different options, because it sucks that I didn't learn about these options until way later in life. that's that. If you want to hear more of these like traumatic period stories, I'm more than happy to share them with you, but I don't want to make this video longer than it already is. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, I am currently doing Vlogtober, which means a new upload every single day, Monday through Friday. I'm trying to make them a little bit more consistent at 5 p.m. I'm also doing premieres with some of my videos, which means that I'll let you guys know when the video is scheduled to go live and we could all watch at the same time. You guys get to know each other. I'll be there during the first viewing to answer any questions. And then if you missed the premiere, no worries. The video goes up live like normal and you can watch it as a normal video. But if you want to join in on the group chat and kind of see it all together and meet each other, then that's a great way for us to continue to build this community and just hang out with each other online. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Check out the description box for all the products that I will link, as well as you can find me on Instagram. I'm doing weekly giveaways over there again. So there's a really nice like friends giveaway this week. I have 2 bags, so you and a friend will win a bag. Check out my Instagram for that. Don't forget to enter New and Beauty giveaway for October. You still have like a week to enter the New and Beauty for October. All the information will be in that description box. Until next time, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye!